Friends, turn with me to 2 Kings, chapter 4, verses 8 to 34. Now I'm going to read all of it.
Check it, second what?
2 Kings.
Huh?
2 Kings.
Kings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chapter 4, verses 8 to 34. I'll read some of it. The rest is going to be the message. Now there came a day when Elisha passed over to Shunamite, and there was a prominent woman, and she persuaded him to eat food. And so it was, as often as he passed by, he turned there to eat food. And she said to her husband, Behold now, I perceive that this is a holy man of God, passing by us continually. Please, let us make a little walled upper chamber, and let us set a bed for him there, and a table and a chair and a lampstand. And it shall be, when he comes to us, that he can turn it there. One day he came there and turned into the upper chamber and rested. Then he said to Gehazi, his servant, Call this Shunamite. And when he had called her, she stood before him. And he said to him, Say now to her, Behold, you have been careful for us with all this care. What can I do for you? Would you be spoken for to the king or to the captain of the army? And she said, I live among my people. So he said to her, What then is to be done for her? And Gehazi answered, Truly, she has no son, and her husband is old. And he said, Call her. When he called her, she stood in the doorway. Then he said, At this season next year, you shall embrace a son. And she said, No, my lord, O man of God, do not lie to your maidservant. And yet the woman conceived and bore a son at that season the next year, as Elisha has spoken to her. In the past I had done a few messages on the prophet Elijah. When we think of the prophet Elijah, we think of a man of strength, a man of boldness, and a man who was on fire with zeal for the Lord. When we think of Elijah, we usually think of the great day at Mount Carmel, when the outpouring of the Lord burned upon the altar that day. There was only one who was similar, in essence, to Elijah the prophet, and that was John the Baptist, whose fiery ministry prepared for the way of the Lord. But just as life is a series of contrasts, morning and night, black and white, good and evil, the man who replaced the prophet Elijah was also a contrast to that zealous prophet of God. Whereas I mentioned Elijah was a man of action, a man again of boldness and a great enthusiasm, Elisha was different. Elisha, although he greatly loved the Lord, was more calm, more composed, more of a gentle shepherd. Whereas Elijah lived in the desert, Elisha lived in cities. Elijah and Elisha spent some 6 or 7 years together. After Elijah's translation, Elisha was the leading prophet of the northern kingdom of Israel and the trusted advisor of the kings of Israel. His prophetic career lasted for more than 50 years during the reigns of Jehoram and Jehu and Jehoaz and Joash. Much of Elisha's ministry is recorded in Scripture. You can read a lot about his ministry in 1st and 2nd Kings. And when you do, you will come away with a great sense of honor and respect for this man. And you will also come away with a general sense of great warmth and great love and great affection that he showed throughout his ministry. And what I believe is so powerful about the contrast of ministry style